Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I have my sprightly, energetic sidekick next to me, ready to go. And I have the Lexus Lx 470. I've been waiting to dig into this paint. Today is the day, at least for the hood. And I'm going to treat the hood differently than the rest of the vehicle. The sides of it, the roof is already done. The sides of this are not quite as baked from the sun and does not have quite as much hard water deposits, mineral deposits as the hood here and the roof did. So we're going to be able to get more aggressive with the hood. And I'm going to show you some measurements. We do have plenty to work with here, so I'm excited to see what we have underneath all of this garbage. Let's get started. You ready? Let's go. All right, for those new to the channel, maybe not familiar with automotive paint systems, automotive paint is a 3-layer system. A primer protects the panel, a color coat gives it the gorgeous color, and then a thin layer of clear coat, which is meant to protect it. Now, I do have an instrument here that will measure all 3 layers at once, and there are other instruments that can measure each layer individually, but they are in the thousands and thousands of dollars. So we can use this and then guess how much clear we have left on here after being weathered for nearly 20 years. On a newer, when this was new, we would be looking at about 5, maybe 5.5 mils of thickness. We are now at 4.4. So it has been weathered. It probably has been corrected 1 or 2 times before, but we still have about, I'm going to guess, a mil and a half of clear coat to work with, and we will protect it substantially. So I'm not worried about going too far with it, because we will compensate with the protection we lay on top of this. So that's where we stand, at about 4.5 mils. When it comes to gloss, we will be starting at about 68 gloss units. And when things leave here, the shop, we like them to be between 100 and 103. So we're going to be in triple digits, maybe, hopefully, by the time the protectant cures. Well, we'll see. My friends, the 3 main options, not the only ones, but the main options that I would consider when correcting this hood would be, number 1, you could use a rotary and a wool pad, cut this garbage off of here, hard water deposits and all the swirls and scratches, and then finish down with maybe a DA, or if you're skilled, you can finish down with a rotary and finishing pads and a finish polish. Number 2, you could take a dual action polisher, slap a microfiber cut pad on, grab your cutting compound, and just go back and forth until it's gone. That's going to spike temperatures and it will be really rough on what's left of this clear coat. Option 3, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing, is taping off, color sanding, and just polish out lightly from there. You will hardly spike temperatures on the surface. It'll be easier on the clear coat and even quicker, less steps. So let's start, and I'm actually going to demonstrate all 3 and the results you would get from all 3. Let's start with slapping a microfiber pad on a dual action polisher and just go back and forth a couple times. Let's see what results we get from that method. I have everything really we need laying here. So I'm going to grab this Americana microfiber cut pad and we'll put it on, let's put it on a force driven. So this is an oscillation and rotation polisher. And we'll use the Kokemi H901. This is the original version. I guess they have version 2 or 3 or whatever the hell. This works just fine for me. And we'll see what that does by itself. Okay, we have the Americana Global microfiber cut pad. We have the H901 shaken and stirred. We have that rich formula shaken up inside the bottle. Let's start here, take a trip over, take a trip back, and we may have to take another trip over if the compound allows us so before the cycle time starts to break down. Speeds between the third and the fourth speed setting. Only pressure from my thumb, guiding the polisher. Correction speed, moving it fast enough that it gives the pad and the polish time to do its job, but not hover over one area and spike temperatures. Always stop the polisher and let the rotation and oscillation come to a complete stop before lifting the polisher. It'll be better on your pads, the backing plates, and the gears. And you can flip it over. Now this is a lot of garbage that has been pulled up from the clear coat after it's been deconned and washed. A lot of traffic film, a lot of hard water deposits here in Pennsylvania. It's going to be clay, limestone, and calcium. So we're going to have to clean this pad between every pass if we choose to do it this way. So let's wipe off the residue and see what type of improvement we've made . And I could tell you it is extreme, the turnaround we have just with this. I'm going to bring you in close to see that there are some deeper scratches. And of course the chips, the rock chips left behind. Nothing that I think a second pass going back and forth wouldn't take care of. And at this point, Lexus paint is soft. There's a little bit of a slight haze. You would have to switch over to a finish pad and go ahead and finish this down. Let me grab you and bring you in close so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Absolutely huge. The reflection is a bit crisper. We do have pitting after almost 20 years of, well, pretty much neglect. Some deeper scratches. And it is a bit hazy. That would have to be finished down. So that's from a microfiber pad. Now I could still, it's still warm. And then it's cool in the shop here. And when I talk about spiking temperatures, I often have viewers say, well, when it's out in the sun, it reaches 160, 170 degrees or even higher. Yeah, that's fine. That's the panel as a whole. When you're spiking temperatures just in this one area and the rest of the panel is ambient, 60, 70 degrees, it's a lot of stress on the clear coat. So just letting you know. Let's make another pass with the rotary polisher right here. See what that does. Okay, I have the H901 on the wool pad here. Spread it out, turn it on low, spread it out a little bit more. We'll do the same thing. We'll take a trip down, take a trip back. Third speed setting. stop there. And we can see the difference that has made as well. Deeper scratches remain, some of the other pock marks and chemical burns. The area by touch, much cooler than it was when we did the cutting here. A wool pad will run cooler than a microfiber pad because of the airflow that can go in between the fibers and the space between the tip of the fiber and the backing plate itself. We're going from this to this, and obviously there's even more hazing left behind from the rotary polisher, so we'll have to switch pads and finish it down. But quite a difference. And a lot of that is just scaled hard water deposits. Okay, one more thing I want to do here. I'm going to run a piece of tape down the middle of this hood, and I'm going to show you the process that I would do that would hardly spike any temperatures, wouldn't remove a ton of clear coat, but would get rid of all the trash that's laying up and a lot of the deep scratches, some of the scratches. And a lot of that's probably from clearing snow off the hood with a garden rake or whatever the hell they use these days. But we're going to get as much as we can without removing too much clear coat. That is the goal. And since we're going to be getting just a little aggressive, let's tape off any surrounding trim. So for this hood, it would just be this piece right here. Maybe the headlights. But I'm going to restore the headlights and protect them. Never hurts to take that extra step when it doesn't take very long. And since I'm not going to be wet sanding on the fenders, it's going to be just probably the rotary and then finishing down. Let's tape that off too. I'm going to tape off the washer, windshield washer nozzle that's sticking out of the top of the hood here. We could remove that. However, I don't want those plastic tabs to break on this, being it's brittle and much older now, so we'll just keep it the way it is. So this is the plan. 2500 grit. We have a little bit of soapy water here, so we can do some wet sanding, and we want to do, you can dry sand if you want to, but I do not want the dust getting airborne because we do other work in here as well during the day, and we're going to wet sand, and we'll just let the clear run down the side of the panel rather than letting it get airborne. You can have your sand disc already soaking in water. Get it nice and damp. And we can spray the surface and go to town. Get the cord straightened out here and we can get started. Low setting. Well, the problem when you have corded machines, you're using corded machines, come unplugged so easily. Try that again. We'll take it up to the 1.5 speed setting. And then what you do is just take your time, keep the polisher moving, don't let it hover. And you can see the white milky substance right there. That's clear coat. Take it up to 2. So this is where we stand. At this point, we have safely scoured the clear of all those hard water deposits and some of the lighter scratches. Some of the heavier scratches are going to remain. We can't chase after them. They are down through the clear. And then some of these chemical burns and pock marks or whatever, they will remain as well. But this is where we stand. From here, we just simply polish it out. And it's not really going to take a whole lot to polish those out. We'll use the Urfiber 50/50 pad and the Turtle Wax Platelet Precision One and Done polish. You could find this anywhere. And do some polishing. Shake up the rich formula here, One and Done. 3 or 4 paintball-sized dots of the polish, and we'll do this section right here. Spread out the polish. Spread it out even more. With One and Done, you can do a section this size because it has a nice long open time or a cycle time. Having a problem with the plug here, I apologize. There we go. And of course down here you could swap over to smaller polishers so you can, or pop the hood, that'll make it easier as well. Now, we went left to right, and it's been worked pretty well, this polish, one and done. But it's not done yet. The cycle time is so impressive with this stuff. I could stop, I could talk. Now we're going to go up and down with it. That's going to be equal to 2 passes. Probably could have done another pass. Now, at this point, the pad is getting clogged. So, clean out the pad. Let's wipe off the residue. Nice, crisp reflections. Lexus paint is very soft, so I will probably end up swapping over to a black application pad with a cleaner polish just to kind of clean up any hazing left behind. There's not much at all. I know you can already see the difference. Let's come up here, take a look from the top down. And then here. Okay. Very happy that I know there is some gorgeous paint underneath there. Let me clean this up just a little bit on this side, remove the tape. And then some more news to follow after that. The Lexus Soft Black, Onyx Black is what it's called, is a pain to dial in because it's so soft, but when you do, it just looks fantastic. Now let's get rid of this one here. Start here. We're going from this to that. Absolutely huge turnaround. There's your 50-50. The deeper stuff, like this here, we're not done with that yet. We're not going to go after it anymore, polishing or wet sanding, but we're going to lay PPF down on this hood, and that's going to get rid of those. It's going to cover them so you don't see them, and PPF has excellent UVA, UVB inhibitors, and will keep this looking gorgeous for years, more years to come, as this truck has a lot more miles to put on it. Quite a big difference. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. Okay, good friends, I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this hood off camera, and then when we come back in another video, finishing up the hood, we'll lay a sheet of PPF. Paint protection film is 8 mils thick. It protects this from harm in the future, rock chips, the sun's harmful rays, and we'll bury the rest of those scratches there. Now, you may say, well, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Well, you want to get the surface as smooth as possible before laying down the film. If you lay down the film and it's got all type of hard water spots, mineral deposits, and bumps and waves, you're going to see them, but it does a great job getting rid of the very thin scratches, and I will show you that in the next video on the Lexus. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I'll catch you in the next video.